Mariners lose 10-9. They fall to 3-5 on the season, and they lose the first of a 3-game series to the San Francisco Giants. We'll go over the scoring plays. I'll go pretty quick because there's a lot. Julio homers to right to give the Mariners a 1-0 lead in the first. Matt Chapman singles to score Lamont Wade Jr., I believe. Yep, 1-1 at the end of one. Second inning, Giants get 2. Lamont Wade Jr., who is just scorching hot right now, doubles to right to score Wilmer Flores and Patrick Bailey. It's 3-1, but the Mariners tied up in the third, a bases loaded walk by Verlander to Randy Arozarena, and a Jorge Polanco single. It's 3-3. Fourth inning, Giants get 2 more. Lee singles to center to score Adames, and Heliot Ramos singles to right to score Lee. That makes it 5-3. But the Mariners in the fifth tie it right back. Jorge Polanco clobbers a home run with Big Dumper on first base. That makes it 5-5. Fifth inning, though, the bottom of the inning, Willy Adames doubles to left. That scores Lamont Wade Jr. That makes it a 6-5 game. Mariners get some runs, though. A Big Dumper fielder's choice and an air gets a run, and then Jorge Polanco reaches on an infield single to score Cal Raleigh. So it is 8-6. I think that Raleigh play ended up scoring 2. It's 8-6. Just trust me. In the bottom of the sixth inning, though, Matt Chapman homers to left center to make it 8-7 Mariners, and Patrick Bailey grounds into a fielder's choice to score Heliot Ramos 8-8. Nothing until the 11th. Luke Raley scores on a wild pitch from Spencer Bivens. It's looking good, and then Willy Adames in the bottom of the 11th off of Carlos Vargas, which we'll talk about. Adames singles to right. It scores Matos. Fitzgerald beats the throw home. 10-9. Mariners lose. That was almost 2 minutes of just talking about plays. I totally understand people who skip that section, by the way, but I do it for me. Some of it is actually for me. It's the way to remember everything that happens in this stupid sport. You know what's not stupid? Shopping at Simply Seattle, the very best in Seattle sports gear. Great stuff for the Mariners, of course, but also the Seahawks, the Kraken, the Storm, the Sounders, the Supersonics, Huskies. You can find it all at Simply Seattle and use code MOLLYWOP15, MOLLYWHOP15. Saves 15% off your order. It's a great deal for a great local business. A link in the description. Please check them out. Please support the local business, and please show you're supporting the show by using that code. There are a lot of positives to take from this game. The offense was really good. Really good. Julio with the great game, 3 for 6 with the homer, scores 3 runs, steals a base. Big Dumper had some of the best at-bats of the year. It's not even close. In fact, I would argue they were the best at-bats of the year. Just his ability, like for a guy who strikes out as often as he does and who doesn't shorten his swing very much, his ability to foul off tough pitches is incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Jorge Polanco just looks fantastic at bat. Like, this is the version that we were hoping for. And then some. I'm not asking him to hit 455, which he's doing right now. And he's on pace even after missing some days. Congrats again, Jorge, on the little one. I'm not asking him to be on pace to homer 40 times either. Like, if he is a semblance of the player we've seen over these first 8 games with the bat, I'm talking about with the bat, I'm not talking about defensively, they're going to be just fine. I mean, at least at that position. It's a huge boon to them if Jorge Polanco is the guy we saw when he was with Minnesota. Luke Raley had a nice day. J.P. Crawford had some nice at-bats. He strikes out 3 times, but I think he saw the ball a little bit better. One time against the lefty, he had no shot, and you got to start considering using, well, they just don't have a backup shortstop is the problem, at least one you trust. The offense was good. This was a good offensive effort against a Justin Verlander who kind of looks washed. He looked okay against Cincinnati in the opener. He doesn't look like the same guy. And of course he doesn't. He's 42. And I'm 42 as well. So it makes me feel good. Not good. You know what I mean. Age is not a nice thing. Some really nice efforts from some of the bullpen tonight. Gabe Spire was fantastic, and I want to see Gabe Spire in more high-leverage situations. The fastball was excellent. The slider was fantastic as well. He looked fantastic. Gregory Santos, he gives up the hit and then he puts, I think it was first and third, nobody out, and then did an awesome job coming back from that. Awesome job. Trent Thornton, it's still not pretty, but he gets the job done. Spire, Thornton, Santos, and then Andres Munoz, who we'll talk about in a second. And the negative portion has nothing to do with him. All pitched really well. Very nice job by all of those guys. We'll talk about some other guys who weren't so good. But I was really impressed with what I saw from the late innings from this bullpen until I didn't. But are there any other positives I want to talk about? This is stupid, but I wanted to bring it up. So Randy Arozarena struck out, and I am not Mr. Big Hustle. Like, I don't care that much about guys who don't run hard to first base. I'm sorry, I just don't. There are much bigger problems in this world than watching guys who are going to get out 99% of the time, not run like they're going to get out 99% of the time. It's just not a big thing for me. But there was something about Randy Arozarena striking out and just booking to first base. I really like that. Now he had a tough day today. He was the one guy in the middle of the order who didn't have a good day. But I love how Randy Arozarena has looked to begin this year. I love how this outfield, for the most part, we'll talk about another guy in a sec. And look, Victor Robles, and let's just get into the negatives now. What a beautiful transition that was. Victor Robles goes 2 for 7. He had a horrific at-bat in the 11th inning. He's had some pretty bad at-bats to begin the year. And I have to say, I don't know what's going on there with that last play. So for those who missed it, with the bases loaded, Adames hits a little blooper into right field. And I think if Adames just comes up firing, he might get the runner at home. But he hesitates, and that's a big mistake. Victor Robles is a good defensive player. But you got to note the negatives. We're a daily show. And that today, that wasn't good enough. That wasn't good enough. And it certainly didn't help. Randy Arozarena did not have a fun day at the plate. He does drive in the run with the free pass with the bases loaded, which was nice. But are there any other negatives offensively? I don't think so. No. Rowdy Tellez doesn't look great. But on the positive side, I should have brought this up earlier. Rowdy Tellez, who is not known for his glove, was terrific defensively today. Scooped out a couple of huge throws. Jorge Polanco, to go back to the negative, as good as he looks offensively, that arm strength is really, really worrisome. And I think maybe they feel more confident in Rowdy Tellez digging out those balls than they do Luke Raley. So maybe that's one of the reasons why he's been playing first base so much. But he played a really good defensive game. A couple of huge stops. He made a diving stop. I love my BBBs. Those beefy, burly boys. I love watching them play. And he played a really good defensive game. He has looked very bad with the bat so far, and they can only be so patient. But really nice defensive game from him. Back to the negatives. Anything else offensively? I don't think so. Pitching-wise. I don't want to go too nuts here. I think the decision to start Luis F. Castillo, really bad in process and obviously bad in result. Now, it could have been worse. It could have been way worse. There was some middle 91 that the Giants just missed or swung through. Just so much worse it could have been. That was so much worse. No, I'm not doing that. He was not good. And you know why he wasn't good? It's because he's not good. I don't like saying that, but I don't get this decision. And you can give me the logic behind it all you want. Just because I know why you're doing it doesn't make it a good decision. I go to the casino and put $1,000 on blackjack My reasoning for doing this is, well, I lost the last three hands, uh, and if I win this one, I'm going to win a lot of money. That doesn't make it a good decision. Not even close. You can tell me all you want about giving Bryce Miller a day off. You can tell me all you want about Brian Wu getting a day off too. Okay, sure. I'll talk about it more in a second. Taylor Sassetto looks awful. And Taylor Sassetto looked bad for a lot of the season last year. And I don't think you can trust him in anything but these early inning situations. I don't see how you can't, or how you can. Uh Bizzardo looked bad. Had a decent little run there where he was looking pretty good, but this is what happens with Bizzardo, and we saw it last year too. For every good, in fact, for every two good, there's a bad one, and you can't have that from your relievers. Can't have it. Uh let's talk about some managerial stuff, and then we'll talk about the Castillo thing again. Well, it just all leads into one thing. This is what happens when you don't script stuff, by the way. You get nonsense drivel, like whatever. Uh why the Mariners are using Colin Snyder in this way, I don't get it. And I don't know if that's a Wilson thing or if that's a the Mariners just really don't believe Colin Snyder is the pitcher he was last year. Cuz using him for 43 pitches tonight and he clearly tired. I thought he did a pretty nice job up until the tiring. I don't get that. I don't get it at all. He was really good last year. He was excellent. He kind of saved the Seattle Mariner bullpen. Now, I didn't see a whole bunch of his spring outings. Maybe he just looked terrible. Maybe I don't get the way they're using him right now. This is two Burnham appearances now for Colin Snyder. I don't get it. I don't get it. And, you know, I just got to be honest. I have not been impressed with how Dan Wilson has managed these first 8 games. One of the biggest mistakes I think he made today, he got super lucky that it worked out. But to not have Gabe Spire ready to go for those lefties was even Aaron Goldsmith and their announcing crew, which, by the way, it's not been fun to listen to this crew for 8 games. I know it was a new person today. There's just no chemistry. There's no chemistry, and it's not fun. I love Aaron Goldsmith. I think he's awesome. I think that Ryan Roland Smith is a very talented guy and can grow into this. And I think Angie Mentic is terrific. Not her role. There we go. I didn't know if I would say it, but I did. What was I talking about? But even Goldsmith was like, I don't get this. Why is Gabe Spire just getting hot right now? Huge mistake. Luckily, didn't hurt them. And then the other one for me, and it just kind of leads into the Castillo thing for me, is I understand that it's modern baseball, and I understand that they're not going to ask Andres Munoz to go multiple innings as often as they did last year. They asked him to go multiple innings a lot last year, and I think it tired him out. But the decision to start Luis F. Castillo and the decision, by the way, every time I have to say F. Castillo, it just, it's not nice. Luis Castillo, the other one, the decision to start him and the decision to pull Munoz for Carlos Vargas, you basically suggested today that a win isn't all that important. You sacrificed a win because Look, I'll come back and edit this video, and I will apologize like crazy if it does happen in the next one. Something tells me that the Mariners aren't going to give up 8 runs tomorrow with Bryce Miller on the mound. Now, you could say 10, but I don't think we're getting to extra innings and giving up those 2. And look, Carlos Vargas, the stuff looked okay. His command is just bad, and he shouldn't be a guy, but they were forced to. They literally had to. And why did they have to? Because they brought up a guy who was only going to give you 3 innings. Now, I don't know if that was the plan. I think they would have let Luis Castillo go deeper. He stretched out. He threw 5 2/3 innings for Tacoma. But if you think Luis Castillo was going to be effective enough, Castillo was going to be effective enough to get through that lineup multiple times, you're crazy. This is a 30-year-old journeyman. But the reason they call up Castillo is, and I wouldn't be shocked if it was announced today, he's either getting optioned back to AAA, and I wouldn't be shocked if he got designated for assignment because he's expendable. So you used an expendable guy and basically said the positive outlook is that you care more about the long term than the short term. The negative, and where I'm kind of leaning, and maybe this is unfair, it's fine. The negative way to look at this is the Mariners didn't really care if they won today. Because if you have Bryce Miller on the mound today with that offensive effort, number one, you're not using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 relievers, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 8. Excuse me. Counting's hard. You're not using 8 relievers, and you're not giving up that kind of offense. And the Mariners had a great chance to score a lot of runs today because Justin Verlander just isn't that good anymore. So you sacrificed a win today. Is it worth it? We'll find out. But I can only judge you on today, and I hate that. I hate that. Finally get a chance to win 2 games in a row. You have easily your best offensive game. And it's worth pointing out they've had 2 out of 3 really good offensive games. That's awesome. But it doesn't matter because you've lost both. Now, the first one, Logan Gilbert just didn't have it in the early portion of that game. But, man, I think he sacrificed a win today. And maybe it'll be worth it. Maybe it'll be worth it. And Luis Castillo, or give Luis Castillo a ring because the Mariners were able to save Bryce Miller and Brian Wood's arm. Doesn't that sound great? But I'll be honest with you. I've seen this team miss the playoffs by 1 game a few times. If they don't make the playoffs this year and it was by 1 game, I am circling. Okay, Google, what's today?
It's Friday, April 4th, 2025.
I'm circling Friday, April 4th, 2025. I think he sacrificed a win. And I'm not thrilled about it. Please hit like. Please hit subscribe. Tell me what you think. Do you think they sacrificed a win today? And do you think it was the right decision? If you feel that they did. Either way, if you feel comfortable with what they did with that pitching decision. I hated it. Again, like, subscribe. Really appreciate the support. We recap every single Seattle Mariner game. I hope we get more offense like this and better pitchers than Luis F. Castillo.